In this video we are going to see the windows of magicautoma. Initially at first two windows are displayed. The main window where it has the system menu and all the utilities and all the settings with all the other windows. And the favorite window where it is a slightly smaller window without menu, and without utilities in order to be able to reduce the space occupied on the desktop. These two windows can be minimized or in the foreground in a separate way. You can see that I can make disappear from here and recall the window of the favorites. The same thing in the window of the favorites, I can minimize or activate the main window. At the bottom, as you can see here the same buttons to see the errors, the cycle, and the launch, the reloading of DaVinci Resolve. The window of the favorites is very simple. I can create new tabs. I can recall the settings of tabs. Or here I can recall the settings of the favorites. I can close the program. I can simply drag a macro in the favorites and manage separately the graphic settings of the button. Now you can see that the macros are independent of each other. It is clear that if I delete this macro, it is not deleted in the main window. Now let's go see the main window. The main window is composed of the system menus, the macros in tabs from the containers, the window of the vocal control that can also be dragged to the outside, like the transport keys that are small buttons that we can put on another part of the screen. The information menu. We have the possibility to go to the official website www.magicautoma.com. We have the possibility to download the latest version of magicautoma. Here we can change the email of ours registration. Here we can insert the serial to update to the full version. Here we can check the special offers that are in progress. And here go see the list, the documentation of the software. By clicking here we close the software. This red button indicates the closure of the workspace. If I close here, I will have the whole list of workspaces available. In this case I only have one. By clicking here I can go create as many workspaces as I want, also create infinite workspaces. We reopen the workspace. We minimize the favorite window and let's go see this menu. In this menu we have the macro management. We can select and then delete, export, import, or change containers. We can filter by visualizing only the macros that have the voice commands. Or by filtering for the macros that have shortcuts assigned. We can select all the macros with effects. You see, these are effects and they are selected only the effects. Then we have here the possibility of creating a new macro with the wizard. Create a new macro with the live recorder. Import macro. Export macro. A list of macros. Connect the external tablet. Close the workspace current. Export a workspace. Or search for a macro. In General Settings. We have the possibility of create new styles of buttons. Delete them, duplicate them, rename them, and modify them. These are the styles of the buttons. The red, for example. This is the yellow. Here we make a backup and restore of all the settings. And here the layout. We can create infinite layouts. Here we have global settings, where the tabulators must be positioned. If we have enabled the mouse wheel as scrub in timeline. The panels. If I don't want load at start the favorites windows. The path of the settings. The size of the macros and the buttons of the macros. The speed with which they must be applied the macros. Of default set to 100. Value higher speed up the macros application. Lower values reduce the speed of the macros application. Here we have the settings of the voice commands. If you enable the voice commands at the start of the workspace, the language with which we want to apply the voice commands. If this list is empty means that we have not set the language in the voice commands in Windows. This is the magic word with which to apply the voice commands. Here we have the possibility of hiding these windows. For example, if I click here, I hide the voice commands. By re-clicking here we activate. User language are the 4 languages at the disposal of magicautoma. Markers. In markers, we have the possibility of importing and exporting all the types of markers that exists. It is a true and proper markers editor valid for any type. The Python section. We have said that it is a script system existing in DaVinci Resolve Studio, so I invite you to watch the tutorial related to the habilitation of the scripts in DaVinci Resolve to be able to make this section. Here we have shortcut list. This is really important for the use of magicautoma with DaVinci Resolve. You can see that here I have imported my custom keyboard, and therefore I invite you to go and see the tutorial on how to set up your custom keyboard in DaVinci Resolve and communicate it to magicautoma. Here we have the settings for the tablet. Here you can see that if this window is shown Windows Security Alert of the firewall, I invite you to click on these 2 buttons. To allow access, this access allows you to connect an external tablet to magicautoma. For DaVinci Resolve here there are all the instructions on how to connect the tablet. For the connection of the tablet, I invite you to go and see the tutorial dedicated to this section. Here we have the window of the cycle. That is used to enable to apply a macro on multiple consecutive clips. Here the number of repetitions. Here the pause between one clip and the other. For the graphic user interface, that's all. Thank you.